took me 5.5 years of living off of intellectual property until I understood what makes information expensive. What makes it so that people buy that thing from you? And yet I had to make 1,437 videos in the last year to understand this concept, to grasp it. Even though I was living for more than 5 years off of intellectual property that I have created, courses that I have created, even though I taught other people how to do the same exact thing that I was doing. Don't worry, I didn't ask them for money. They were friends, and they were even more successful than I was. I did not know until just a few days ago, and I really thought about it for all this time. I really put all the effort that I had to understand what was it that really made information expensive. And I did not understand until it clicked. It hit me like a brick wall. All of this time before I even profited off of my first intellectual property, I spent 1.5 years just trying to modge podge together, to Frankenstein away at some sort of content that was valuable enough for people to buy. And I made it. And I was thinking that I realized what it was. It was the usefulness. It was the editing. It was the presenting. It was the expertise. It was almost all of those, but those pale in comparison to the explanation. You have to understand that this concept is so simple. Once you figure it out, once you understand it, you're probably gonna wanna dismiss it. But if you really stay there and think about it, really pay attention to this concept, that what information, what makes it expensive is the price that you paid for it. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the sleepless nights, the effort, the time. Those are the things that you paid with. And those are the things that people will avoid and pay you for that information to avoid. You could have paid more money. You could have paid all of these things: time, effort, stress, trauma, all of these things. But you see, you will discard this idea and you will think that it is nothing. But if you think that it is nothing, try to sell intellectual property any other way and you will fail. You will just run around like a headless chicken. Until you realize this concept, until you get it and drill it down into your skull, you will not really know what you are doing, because I didn't know what I was doing. I modged podged together all of these things: a beautiful presentation, a great video, some beautiful, nice words, a charismatic way of talking, and all of these things put together. And yes, they created value. But then it hit me. What differentiated from all of these videos, from all of these things? What were the things that I've created that were the best performers? What was it that I was doing? And I couldn't understand it for the longest time. Even though I lived off of them for 5.5 years, I didn't have to get a job. I was financially free, whatever you want to call it. I did not understand and grasp this concept that people were buying when it was clear what they had to pay if they didn't buy from me. What they had to pay was all the effort that I've put in, all of the things that I've learned, all of the sleepless nights, the sweat, the tears, all of these things. When it was super clear, they bought. The more clear it was, the easier it is to sell. So you understand that once you make these things clear, everything is super easy. And no matter what other people try to convince you of, you have to understand that when you're selling information, it is all about the price that they have to pay if they don't buy from you. If the price that they have to pay is way bigger than the price that you're asking, they're always going to buy. They're always going to buy. That's why it's so simple. And that's why it's so effective. It is a simple concept, but that's the beauty of it. This simple concept might take you years to understand, to grasp. The simplest concepts are the hardest to really grasp how much of an impact they have, to really grasp the depths of knowledge of that simple idea. It was boiled down to this one singular phrase. How much have you paid for it?